Again, never know if I'm live or not. There I am. I have to check my phone to see if I'm live. So good morning, everybody. I hope that everybody is staying dry this morning. We are a little bit of a rainy morning here in Northern Ontario, but that's okay. That's okay. We need the rain. And for all my gardeners, I'm sure you're all doing a little bit of a happy dance, so because you don't have to water tonight. I know a lot. I do. My husband actually does a lot of the watering, and I know he's probably thinking, "Yay, I don't have to water tonight," which is good. I mean, and I planted a whole pile of plants the other day, so it is, not something I'm going to have to worry about tonight, which is kind of nice. I am just kind of waiting for Dana. She is wanted to get on real quick this morning and make sure that we got on right at 8, which we did, which is nice. Yay! We actually made it for 8, but then I'm not quite sure where she is. She is busy doing and getting ready for her clinic in Southern Ontario. So she might not be able to jump on. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work today, but that's okay. That's how we roll with it. That's how we do it every morning. So you get me. I hope that's okay. And we've been talking a lot about different things with regards to our conversations. I sometimes their conversations get a little bit, kind of boring, I think. And I was going through a few of them the other day, and it was, well, there's Dana. And I was thinking that maybe we should switch things up a little bit. Good morning, Dana.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone today?
It looks nice and beautiful where you are. It's pouring rain.
Yes. Oh, we didn't get the rain that we should down here. So I'm in Blenheim this morning, just quickly popping in before I start my clinic here in Blenheim. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's 17 degrees. Can't ask for better weather than this, but we did not get the rain that we should have. So yes, you're very lucky up there.
Yeah. I was just saying that we don't have to water tonight, so that's a good
No,
thing.
you don't. And there's no fire ban, which is also incredible as well. So
yeah, so when you go home, your husband will be a happy man. He doesn't have to put away his fire.
that's right, exactly. His therapy, his therapies.
Therapy. I love it. I love it. Yeah,
So yep, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was kind of just taking over and going to, I was telling everybody that, I was going through some of the old videos that we've done, and I was thinking some of them are a little bit boring. We're just kind of chit-chatting about nothing. And then I thought, well, maybe we should chit-chat about something specific. And that's why I was kind of thinking that I would kind of take over today and just
absolutely
talk about my detox a little bit today.
I think it's perfect timing, Wendy, because you're getting ramped up. It is only on for a limited time, even that entry into your school masterclass. And it really is important because this is the solstice. The solstice has begun, and that innate need to change and make those changes before holidays or before this really heavy heat comes in is the perfect time.
Yeah,
it's the perfect time. Yeah, absolutely. And as I always think, there's no better time than this. So
yeah, anytime that we have a shift in the seasons, it's about, a lot of times it's about honoring the body and flowing with the seasons as well too. I just want to show you, this is the detox that I have.
Beautiful.
It comes with a lot of different things, but the thing is, it's not really so much about the pretty pictures and different things like that. And it really doesn't even have to be called detox, because I know that word detox really does scare a lot of people. And
it does.
When I offer these, situations to change our eating habits on a seasonal basis, it is more of a fact of just trying to eliminate some of foods that might be a little bit irritating to the stomach, or a lot irritating to the stomach and the gut and the body, and causing inflammation that we don't really realize until we start eliminating a few of these specifics, and then seeing where we're at and how good we actually do feel as a result of eliminating them for a little while. But this whole, when you couple that with traditional Chinese medicine and Asian traditions, you really connect that with different parts of the body as well. So in the summer, we really try to connect with the heart, and we learn, and we really try to go towards letting go, and just allowing that release on so many different levels. So you're not only just releasing or detoxing different foods from the bodies, but we're also detoxing thoughts and people and places and things, as well as the foods in our bodies, to really just bring about that whole total mind, body, soul detoxification kind of process. And I mean, there's no right way or wrong way about doing it. It's about, you know, just releasing and allowing the body just to relax and rest and rejuvenate itself and come back to a homeostasis, that nice balance. I mean, I could get into the real technical end of things and how the process works, but essentially what, you know, a cleanse like this does is really for people that are suffering from things that they've considered as normal. So migraine headaches, a lot of people I know get migraine headaches, but they've almost like clockwork. They go, oh, I know I'm going to get one this month, or I know this is going to trigger it or whatever. This is not a normal process. And this is something that definitely can be eliminated from the body, as well as things like getting eczema or psoriasis. These are outward expressions of the body being tired, the liver being congested and upset and not being able to do the job that it wants to do, and eventually coming out as an eczema or a rash on the body. People that don't sleep well, you know, again, this is one of these things that we kind of say, oh, that's, you know, part of normal life. I'm a certain age or whatever. This is not normal. Again, we need that rest and relaxation to rejuvenate our body on a daily basis. And, you know, this is not normal. So I'm just looking at my notes here. I'm just looking to see, there's other things that a lot of people really take for granted as being normal in their lives, but they don't have to be. I'm just going to, and for the most part, I mean, and I've been talking about inflammation a lot of during the week as well. So not only just foods, but thoughts and stress is a really big component of inflammation within the body. And if we don't really take a look at all the different components that are causing inflammation in our body, we really are putting ourselves in detriment for long-term disease expression, which definitely means, you know, or just basically means that, you know, if you expect to have diabetes or heart disease or cancer in your older years, then you probably will get it, because, you know, you're not doing anything at this point to, you know, prevent it. So, I mean, things like I talked about rashes, but constipation, another thing that, you know, people sometimes think, well, this is just a normal of who I am. This is just whatever. This is not a normal process. And if you have a sluggish gut, if you have bowels that don't work regularly or have lost their ability to be stimulated, this is something that definitely you want to look at on a deeper level and find out what that deeper root cause of that is too. It could be food. It could be a lot of emotional stuff going on as well. Foggy thinking, this weight gain, headaches, different things like that, that we kind of take for granted and think, oh, well, I'm of a certain age, this is hormones, which it is, but we don't have to put up with it. We don't have to go through life with this foggy brain and thinking that we are just, you know, walking around with this cloud over our heads at all times. People that get sinus congestions all the time. So I know there's a lot of people, a lot of kids especially these days, that have chronic sinus congestion all the time. And you can hear it when they even talk, because they're very nasally all the time. This is not normal either. This is not something that people have to put up with. And it can definitely be, you know, helped by looking into what they're eating and eliminating a pile of different things, and then slowly bringing back those foods gradually to see what it is that's causing that allergic reaction, that histamine reaction. Histamine reactions, again, which is that allergic or that mild response to an allergy or a sensitivity, high and low energy levels as well. So if you're not sleeping well, you're going to end up having high and low energy levels as well. And, you know, feeling sluggish and feeling like that afternoon slump a lot of times can be a result of having too many carbs. Well, carbs normally shouldn't affect you that heavily because we need carbs to live. But if they are throwing you into a spiral that's downward, that you're just like crashing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's an issue there, and you really have to start addressing that. Even skin change colors. I mean, I know somebody like myself who is very, very pale. If all of a sudden I notice that I'm hypersensitive to the sun, or which I kind of am all the time, but like if it was really, really bad, or all of a sudden I started changing colors to like a yellowish or looking like I was tan, different things like that can be very an indication of something going on as well too.
Yeah, for me, that's always a concern that because historically my family does have gallbladder issues, or I may historically have a sluggish liver. So I always watch for that yellowing.
Jaundice.
That jaundice sort of look of things. But for myself, I actually keep an eye on my age spots because I have a tendency to have those. And I always take that as a hint that something is not detoxifying properly, or something is not functioning as it should in my free radicals, right? And I find that they come and go, which is really unique. But that does indicate to me that there is an imbalance somewhere. I support liver, increase my antioxidants, and increase my fruit, berries, greens, those types of things. So
on either on a whole foods basis or with something like Juice Plus on a ongoing basis, where you get like those 30 fruits and vegetables within the product itself. Something along the lines of an attention deficit disorder. So this is something, I don't know about you, Dana, within where you grew up, but where I grew up, we didn't have this kind of diagnosis for a lot of kids. We had kids that were just, we'd say, boys just being boys, or girls that were little, whatever. But now we have an actual attention, it's called ADHD. A lot of people know what it is, because a lot of kids have been diagnosed with this. But from the time when we were children, these people are all adults now. So we have a lot of adult attention deficit disorder, or hyperactivity disorder as well too. So being able to control that and understand how that relates to your diet as well is really important. And it can be exacerbated by junk foods and sugar and dairy and heavy meats and all these different things too. And something that can be, when we look at, basically what I'm talking about is an elimination diet. When we start looking at something like that and incorporating a lot more whole foods into our diet, even just for a short period of time, can really alleviate those symptoms. And I'm talking short time, so I'm talking like 4 days. I mean, if we can get past that hump of the withdrawal of caffeine after 4 days, people usually start to feel like miraculously better, and they just, they're so thankful and they're just like, oh, Wendy, I can't believe it. But it is, you people that are have issues with IBS and IBD and to a lesser extent Crohn's and colitis, you really can't have to play around and be very, very specific about and personalize that to your own situation, your own body. But people that have IBS, definitely an elimination diet and understanding the foods that you're taking in and how they affect your body really is so very important. And again, it could be a matter of 4 days before you really you
reap the benefits of changing.
See some difference with regards to that. And it's just a miraculous thing. And I know people have heard me say, oh, a seasonal detox or seasonal cleanse, but this is the reasoning behind it, because when our bodies are constantly bombarded by this histamine reaction from the foods that we're taking in, I've got the window open. My eye, my glasses are fogging up. It's hot in here.
It's humid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a matter of just giving your body a time to rest and allow the toxins and the inflammation. The inflammation causes toxins. Oh no, sorry. We get inflammation from the toxins in our body. And once we are able to start to eliminate those on a mass level, we decrease our inflammation, which eventually, gives us the opportunity to prevent the onset of diseases in our
and
our
I think
future.
with this increase of use of cleaning supplies or of sanitizers or of the Clorox wipes, or which are necessary, but the increase of these high chemical products will only exacerbate toxic effect in your body, and may, for some people, may increase this hepatic response to the body. You may rash more, you may have more breathing problems, and it's not COVID, it's actually toxin buildup in the lungs. And or this can be that tipping point for some people's livers for the detoxification of the body. So this is a perfect time. You've been stuck at home for 90 days or 60 days in some cases before you got to go back to work. You're now inundated with filters that you have, or masks that you're breathing an increase of CO2 to your body. You're using sanitizers and upon entry and leaving. You're sanitizing your desk, which is necessary, folks. It is necessary. It is mandated, and we have to do it. But are our bodies ready for this? And if you're feeling that you have these increase of symptoms, you need to reduce your inflammation for longevity, even just to last this summer, even just to last this year. And for the better of your health, understanding that removal of the things that you can remove, allowing your body to be more prepared for these stress situations, is really going to help you long term. It's perfect timing, Wendy, and I think you're spot on with everything that you've said. It's just so important, and we both talk about it a lot. It's so important to take advantage of these little tweaks, these little life hacks you can do that are going to make a big change long term.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, in the short term, you're going to feel it right away, but in the long term, you're playing the long game for a lot of this stuff. And even if you're only doing the seasonal detox for the 14 days or the seasonal cleanse for the 14 days, I use those words interchangeably. That 14 days is going to make a big difference. And, you might incorporate one or two new habits over the next 3 months as we go through the summer. And then, we do it again in the fall. And then you might incorporate one or two more habits then, or even just release a habit. Or decrease something like Diet Coke or something like that, or decrease a little bit of sugar. I mean, even my stepson, when we went to visit him, he's only 24. He's even trying to decrease my sugar and everything else. And
same as my son. My son has done the same thing. He's like trying to remove all the sugar. Now he needs to work on the Mr. Noodle diet that he's on. So, but the kids have to do what they have to do. And just, okay, that's fine. You can have Mr. Noodles or whatever, but you need a protein and you need vegetables. And this is a great base for soup. It's a great base for stir fries. So they're not evil, but you need protein, you need fruits, and you need vegetables.
Yeah, and the thing is too, I mean, we're human. I mean, I don't know if there's one person out there, well, at least I haven't run into them yet, that is 100% all the time clean, unless they've actually had a diagnosis and then they've changed, like done the 180 because they're scared shitless. And they're just, but this is the whole point of all of this. I don't want you guys to get or have a diagnosis. I don't want you to have to go through that trauma of sitting in the doctor's office and being told that you know, you've only got so many months to live or something along that line. This is the whole point of what I am doing, and I know Dana does as a result as well. That's the big picture. But in the small picture, I mean, you could lose a little bit of weight. I mean, we've all got these, what do they call them now? Isolation love handles? No, what do they call them? I don't know. There's a cute little term for them anyways, that we've all kind of put on this little bit of weight. You're going to release some stored weight that you might have had from even before the isolation situation. You're going to be able to give that chance to renew a lot of the cells. So your skin is going to look a lot nicer. Your hair is going to grow a little bit more, where things can get a little bit stagnant. Again, just reducing inflammation, you're going to feel better. You're not going to feel like the Michelin Man. There's the word. The other day, I forgot the word of what it was called, but you're not going to feel all puffy and bloated all the time. You're going to boost your immune system. Okay, I'm sorry, Facebook, I'm not supposed to say that, but I just said it. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have a stronger sex drive. You're going to feel better. You're going to want to have that little bit extra energy to spend time with your spouse. Like I said, your skin's going to look amazing. Going to reduce a little bit of cellulite, maybe sleep a little bit better. All of these benefits of just a 14-day cleanse. And then just, you know, go back to maybe not your old way of doing things, because once we know better, we do better. But just going back and you know, not being so hard on yourself if you end up having a couple of Oreos, or you have a margarita on the weekend, or, you know, a glass of wine, or an extra piece of pie because it's summertime. These are things that your body's going to be able to handle and naturally detoxify, because you've given it that chance of that 14-day rest and rejuvenation. So yeah, so I think we're going to cut it really short there, but I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit more about that as a situation. Yeah.
I'll let you, you know, I'm just going to sign off, but I want you to, Wendy, to take a moment and just walk through, you know, detail for them what's included in your summer cleanse and what's in, you know, and then also just finish with what your program, what your course is about as well, because these are so important. So you just take a few moments, you know, I just go for it. You guys have a glorious day today, and hopefully you guys will get sun today as well. You guys take care. But Wendy, take this time, detail through what the summer cleanse is entailed, and how amazing, what a spectacular program that you have. And then also touch, you know, just leak a little bit or highlight a little bit about your course coming up. So beautiful. You guys have a good day.
Have a wonderful day, Dana. Take care. So, okay, so I'm going to follow Dana's instructions. I was going to do this anyways, but the thing is, I wanted to just walk you through basically what the program is all about. So, like I was showing you, this is, I mean, like I said, it's more than just a fancy page. And this is the design what I have for this year. Essentially, the program is set up into 3 phases. So the first phase is the 4-day prep phase. So, I mean, when I say 4 days, you could take as long as you want. This is your program. This is your basic roadmap to understanding and, you know, doing a little bit just more for your body, whatever that is. I mean, you could stay in this pre-cleanse phase, this 4-day phase, or however long, for as long as you want. In this phase, you're looking at trying to decrease the amount of caffeine. You're trying to decrease the amount of sugar. Decrease the amount of red meats and dairy and gluten and grains in your diet. And that's hard. I mean, that's hard, especially if you've never done anything like this before. It is hard, especially sugar. This is, I hate saying, you know, things like sugar's the bad guy, sugar's evil and everything else. It's not. I mean, sugar has its purpose in our lives. I think it's the amount that we end up taking in and the abuse that we have as a result, and the combination, the fat, the refined nasty fats and sugar combined can really wreak havoc on the body. But, you know, trying to switch over your sugars to, say, a raw honey or a maple syrup or a stevia, you're still getting your sweetness. You're still getting the energy that you might need from a sugar boost or whatever, but just watching the amount that you're taking in. So during this phase, like I said, I've got it in the program as being a 4-day phase. So starting off on a Monday or a Tuesday and working your way, and you can start basically phase 2, which is the detox or the cleanse phase, on a Saturday or on a Sunday. You can start it whenever you want. That's the beauty of this program, is that you can do it at your own pace for however long that you need, and then go through each phase for whatever you need. The elimination phase, so basically the cleanse is an elimination diet. So you are taking out your sugar, you are taking out your dairy, you are taking out soy, you are taking out gluten and red meat. There is meat allowed on it, so you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, she's going to make me vegetarian. There is a vegetarian option with all the recipes, as well as an omnivore option with all the recipes and all the meal plan and everything else that you get along with it. There is a guide, and that's the one thing that I was showing you is the guide portion of it. And in the guide, it tells you, let's see here. Actually, I just wanted to give you this quote because, associating it with body, mind, and soul, and that detoxification or that cleansing of all areas of the body at one time. This is a quote that I put in here from Gabrielle Bernstein from her Miracles Now. Much of our anxiety and stress comes when we're focused on fear and disconnected from the voice of our inner guide. And when we start to cleanse and do a detox like this with foods, energetically, our bodies become open and cleanse as well, because when we put good foods into our body, whole foods, energetically high vibrational foods, our body responds on an energetic level as well. So we end up becoming clearer mind, literally and figuratively, and we start to open up and see and become very aware of that inner guide, that guidance, that radar that we all have inside of us that, takes us to where we want to go. So actually, let's see here. The guide itself is full of information with regards to the program itself. And then like I've got here a daily schedule that, again, these are just suggestions. So waking up first thing in the morning, having your lemon water, but you can have cranberry water, or you can have, there's a couple of different variations of that morning elixir that's going to really boost that digestive process and get you really amped up in the morning. Almost to the point where you may not even need your coffee. It's going to really be great. So after that, you're going to maybe want to do a tongue scraping, because tongue scraping and dry brushing and castor packs and contrast showering and sweating, these are all processes of detoxification, and you want to keep them open and running, because we want to get those toxins out. We want to keep those pathways clean and free and just working because once we get those toxins flowing in our bloodstream, we want to get them out of our system. So these are all practices that you're going to incorporate during the elimination phase or continue on throughout the whole system. There is suggestions with regards to supplements. So taking a probiotic is always a good thing, whether you're on a cleanse or whether you're, normal every day. But it is really quite imperative that we have that good gut bacteria for the normal processes to really allow some healing to occur. So when we take in a probiotic, either through fermented foods, which is always a good idea, and or a supplement, we are really giving our gut a chance to heal. So pushing out the bad bacteria and repopulating with the good bacteria. And because the bad bacteria always wants to win out and dominate in our gut, we really have to continually bring in a probiotic on a daily basis, continually for our lives, because we are continually bombarded with external toxins and internal toxins that do kill off the good bacteria in our gut and leave us susceptible to things like leaky gut and IBS and all these different things. And leaky gut is another thing that I can talk about, for weeks on end. And, it's going to be another video that we are going to be looking into. But leaky gut is essentially, the starting point for a lot of our autoimmune, for a lot of our disease processes as well. So I'm not going to get into that now, but definitely looking towards a probiotic. So then at breakfast time, you might want to take in a coffee substitute or a green tea, something along that lines, and then eating your breakfast. So just some of the recipes. Let's see if I got some of the recipes here. For breakfast, we have like a smoothie bowl or a summer fruit and coconut bowl, a banana vanilla breakfast bowl. These are some of the recipes that are in the vegetarian version of it. Also, let's see here, there's a whole pile of, I'll show you a whole pile of, so that's the table of contents, the first page of the table of contents: smoothies, juices, infused waters, daily drinks. Then you get, let's see here, breakfast, protein balls, all the dressings, snacks, lunch, dinner. And then as we transition, and that's the third phase, it gives you more recipes with the added foods in it that you took out in the beginning. And then as we slowly reintroduce them, seeing if you have some sort of reaction to them. And at that point, knowing that, there is something going on, you want to take it out again, because you don't want to go back into that whole process of the inflammation and reactions and, going back into constipation, going back into skin hives and going back into migraines and you don't want to go back into that. Once you realize that that's something that you don't have to live with, there's something you want to stay away from. So as we continue through the day, there's a mid-morning snack. So, and a lot of people look at me and they go, I can't eat that much food, Wendy. It's up to you. You can really do as much or as little as you want. And then after that, there's lunch, and then a moving meditation, maybe perhaps for about 10 minutes. So getting up and just walking around your house, going for a walk down the hall at work. Just taking a few moments to disconnect from your phone, from computer, from everybody around you, and just going inwards and just walking a little bit, or doing some sort of moving meditation, because there's suggestions of different kinds of quieting moments or mindfulness that goes along with this too. So in the afternoon, you're going to have maybe a cranberry drink, or another lemon water, or something along that line, and then looking towards one of the snacks. So there was a ton of snacks, protein balls, any kind of fruits and vegetables that you like, anything that is like a whole foods. And there's a list in the program itself of things that are suggested that you eat and things that you're suggested that you don't eat. And then at dinner, you have your dinner, and then you're going to turn your phone off and detox from your phone for a little while. And then in the evening, detox from Facebook for a little while, and, or even, go through your contact list, and maybe people that you don't even know, just take them off. And then shutting down a little bit before bedtime. Perhaps, doing a castor pack oil, or going for an Epsom salt bath, or reading for a little while, or maybe doing some meditative coloring, something to distract yourself, quieten yourself down a little bit, bring yourself into a state where your body's recognizing that, okay, it's time to go to bed very soon. Let's see here. So this is the whole elimination phase. And this is what, it's a suggestion. All this stuff is suggestion. And I mean, even if you can't give up coffee, that's your prerogative. But if you understand the how, and are, maybe having a lot of issues because of coffee, you might want to learn how to decrease it a little bit. The big ones that I really kind of promote and push a lot more than others are dairy and gluten. And even with myself, I never really thought that I had an issue with gluten until I actually cut it out. And then, and it wasn't even an intentional thing. I went for a while that I just was like, no, I don't feel like having anything like bread or whatever. And it wasn't one of those, I'm not going to have it because then I crave it more. That's just the way I work. And I know it's the way a lot of people work as well too, but it's just, I cut it out for a while, and then all of a sudden I had like a plate of pasta and some garlic bread, and oh boy, I was bloated. My inflammation, my hands were swollen up. I was headachy. I didn't sleep at night. All these symptoms come flooding in, and although it was like a pasta that was very much based in like a primavera, lots and lots of vegetables, because I always make a homemade pasta sauce. It was the pasta. It was the garlic bread. It was the bread. It was the gluten and everything that I was eating, and it was horrible. Although it's going to take me a while before I give up pasta, to be honest with you. But there's, a lot that, even if you were able to give up dairy for a week, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's a big, big one. Or if even you were trying to give up gluten for a week, these are things that you're going to really notice a difference of. When we look at other things, there's other foods on the list that can definitely be looked at and eliminating. But again, sugar again is one of them. And it is your program. So again, there's all the recipes you need for that 7-day period. And then if you want to continue that 7-day period because you're feeling absolutely phenomenal, that's great. You can stay on that for as long as you need to. I would definitely connect with me and make sure, we can talk about it and see where you're at and how you're feeling and everything else, just to give you some guidance and to make sure everything is up and up. But then when you're going into the third phase, which is the transition phase, you're actually going to be reintroducing some things into your diet. So some nuts. Let's see what else. You're going to be reintroducing some more grains into your diet. You're going to be reintroducing some dairy. You're going to be reintroducing some gluten. So going into more of and seeing what it is that is affecting you. And this is where journaling really comes in handy. And within the program itself, you are given a food journal. You are given that opportunity to write down any kind of symptoms that you might be having and understand that this is a connection with this. And if you do have a pretty severe reaction to it, a very evident reaction to something, you're going to eliminate it again. And then, in 2 weeks, you want to try to reintroduce it again. And notice that if you have that same reaction again, then you definitely have a very high sensitivity to that product. And, you're going to try to avoid that because you don't want to have the reaction. So let's see what else. You get the guide, you get the recipes for the omnivore and vegetarian. You get a meal plan for both of those as well. You get the food diary. You get, I said, the guidebook. Oh, there's a physical and emotional wellness toolkit that you get as well. So this is going to really help you on a different level with regards to your elimination process and understanding the ways that you can really help yourself through it, because you might have some what we call healing crisis. This is that detox kind of process that people go through when they're eliminating something that's kind of chronically in their system. So caffeine, for an example. Caffeine is a stimulant, and caffeine is a very much addictive properties to it too. So when you eliminate it, especially if you go cold turkey, your body's going to react and it's going to scream at you and it's going to say, what the hell are you doing? I need my coffee. That's just a normal reaction. And, there's ways to really get through that. And this wellness toolkit is one of those. It's going to give you a lot of opportunities and learn how to do that. I will always be accessible during your detox as well. So you always have that opportunity to come and talk to me with regards to what's going on, how to, maneuver your way through the process as best as you can. There's actually a couple of handouts as well. So there's a handout on vegetable wash as well as a toxin workbook. So there's a whole workbook that's involved in that to give you an opportunity to give you that you do at the beginning of the cleanse to see where you are, how your toxicity levels are, and then to do it again at the end to see where your toxicity levels are at that point as well. But I'll just give you a bit of an overview of what that is all about. So you can check off symptoms like sugar cravings, digestive issues, skin rashes, immune system, imbalances in your hormones, poor sleep, exhaustion, foggy brain, joint pain, edema, body odor, a white coating on your tongue, cold sores, autoimmune flares, candida, weight gain, irritability, frequent illnesses, sensitivity to smells, fatigue. All these things are very much symptoms that can be experienced when you're very toxic. You can ask yourself, do I eat mostly organic food? Yes or no? Do I eat genetically modified foods? Yes or no? Do I eat sugar and or processed foods? We all do. Have you taken antibiotics in the last year? So antibiotics is one of those things that kills off the good bacteria in your gut as well as the bad bacteria. And but it allows the bad bacteria to flourish exponentially and take over. Are you on hormonal birth control? Do you take any kind of medication? So any kind of over-the-counter or prescribed medications are going to really deplete your system and cause a lot of toxicity in your system. Do you experience stress in your life? Well, who doesn't? Do you use big brand personal care products? So a lot of the toxins that we get are simply through beauty products. Do you wear perfume? I don't know a lot of people that wear perfume anymore, but it's really funny because I stopped using perfume about 10 years ago. Saved a lot of money, mind you, but now when I smell perfume, I'm very highly sensitive to it because I haven't had it on my body for a long time. I use essentially just essential oils now, but when I really smell it, if I go into a mall or something and somebody's wearing some perfume, it's just like, whoo, hits me right in the face. I also love the smell of a man with a nice cologne on and stuff like that. But now even it just, it turns my stomach, and I'm very highly attuned to the smell as well, which is really, it's part of the process. It's part of the process. The cleaning products that you use, are they non-toxic? Are you exposed to smoke, or do you smoke personally, or are you exposed to mold? So these are all kind of things that you want to take a look at to see how toxic you might be in your own life. We are all very toxic. I can show you in the live blood analysis how toxic we are. And it's just a matter of really looking and pinpointing and seeing how you can really decrease your toxicity a lot. Within this, because we're in the summer cleanse, and sometimes, because we worry about our skin and everything else, there's actually quite a few little recipes in here as well. And, foods that you really want to focus in on during the summertime. So cherries and mangoes and peaches and beets, grapefruit, dandelion root is a very good for cleansing as well. Let's see here. We've got a recipe for sunscreen, so a natural sunscreen recipe. That is amazing. There's a natural insect repellent bug spray from in here as well too. And there's some cleaning, household cleaning opportunities to look at how you can make a natural ones as well too. So understanding that, you know, bug spray and sunscreen are very toxic, and we really want to look towards more natural products, as well as essential oils and different things along that line. So I've got actually some products listed here as well too, that are some of them are essential oils, some of them are like Mad Hippie and Goddess Garden, and well, there's On Guard and Thieves here, Seventh Generation. These are all products. Just vinegar and baking soda is amazing for cleaning products. And, you know, just all these different things that we can do while we are detoxing, and really looking at your life as a result. So I will leave, I think that's pretty much it. It's quite a bit, actually. And this is something that I do on a seasonal basis. So if you're not quite convinced yet about how important it is to cleanse your body on a seasonal basis, but you're kind of thinking about it, definitely, you know, keep in mind there's going to be another one in the fall. And the fall one is always so nice because I just love the fall. But if you are interested in wanting to do this, let me know, because well, I'm going to leave links in the comments on how to get your own cleanse and do this. And like I said, I am available for support during your cleanse as well, and make it your own. As long as you're kind of following the guidelines to within your own world, you can definitely do something. I mean, there's even a section in here that says, how can you detox when you have no time? So maybe the kids are driving you crazy right now. Maybe you've actually head back to work. You're doing, you know, there's things that you can do, like making your smoothie the night before, looking at the meals and deciding which ones that you want to batch cook. So batch cooking is amazing. Suggesting meals uses the suggested meals as a reference, and just adding and using your own guidelines, and understanding how to make it your own. So it's your family will enjoy it as well. Making your soups in a crock pot and storing them in BPA-free glass containers. Again, batch cooking, roasting a ton of vegetables all at one time, using frozen organic vegetables to save money and time. You know, only if you can not find organic stuff. You know, you want to really, I know organic is expensive, and I know people kind of roll their eyes at me when I say organic, but I mean, if you're only going to do it for 14 days during this cleanse, then that's going to be your benefit. It's going to be your way that you can really really dive deep into this cleanse and really get the most benefits out of it. So like I said, I'll put the contents on how to get it. There's more information about it that you can look at and, you know, decide for yourself. And I'm always available for questions if you want to have any kind of idea of, like, you're kind of confused about what I'm talking about, or I didn't make sense, or you want to learn more about it, please reach out, and I'm always available to tell you more about it. So the detox itself is available for $97. I'll tell you guys that straight out. The thing is, though, too, I also have a membership. It's called Broken to Breathtaking, and this is a membership for my ladies that are kind of at the end of their ropes with regards to what to do in their lives, how to push forward, how to make some lasting changes. And it's a community of like-minded women that are just, you know, looking to lose weight, to love themselves again, to really incorporate some really healthy foods, dive into learning about mindfulness and loving themselves and, some joyful movement, all the components that are needed for healthy living and to really increase their chances of, not going towards a debilitating disease later on because of the way life is right now. Because a lot of us, we can see what's coming. We see it in our parents. We see it in our older folks that are around us. We see it in siblings, perhaps. The whole, when I hear it so often that, well, all of my sisters have diabetes and my parents had diabetes and my aunts and uncles had diabetes, so I'm going to get diabetes. Well, I get a little annoyed when I hear that kind of situation because, yeah, okay, you might be genetically predisposed to a certain condition, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, fill in the blank, whatever it is, but it is a choice and it is your choice. And, a group like this allows you to have that choice and allows you to have that voice and allows you to, and gives you the support that you need to make the right choices. So this is something that this group is so incredibly important for me to have birthed it to all of you, because it is something that is, yeah, it is, it's amazing community. And the simple fact that you can get this summer detox, and all of my detoxes, my cleanses, are going to be part of this group, as well as like monthly meal plans and weekly lives and all kinds of information and videos and community and everything else, for a really, really low price. So my Broken to Breathtaking membership is $29.99 a month. Whereas, and you, like I said, you get the $97 detox within that program as well. And you can do it at your own pace. You can do it for as long as you want. And it is, yeah, I'll put all the links to everything that I'm talking about today. And I'm hoping that you guys can take the opportunity to check it out. If you have any questions with regards to it, please, please, please reach out. Like I said, the Broken to Breathtaking membership will stay open for a little while. I think it's the summertime and the isolation and quarantine and all these different things that are kind of making, that are kind of slowing things down a little bit for people. So, just getting back to thinking about our health and thinking about what's important for us and taking those baby steps with regards to going forward. So I was going to be closing the doors to the Broken to Breathtaking, but I want to keep it open, and I want to keep that that opportunity for everybody to have that opportunity over the next little while. I mean, eventually I will close the doors, but it is at this point something that I want people to have access to have the opportunity to try it out and see where they are. So I will be continually talking about it. You guys are going to get sick and tired of listening to me. And if you're not, and you want more information about it, just follow the links and I will get that information to you. I love you guys. I really do. I mean, this is why I do what I do. This is why I offer this opportunity to my ladies and men to better themselves, to not get to the point where you're sick. And after 30 years of nursing, I did oncology work. I watched people die. That was my job, trying to make them as comfortable as possible at the end of their life. Watching our elders coming into nursing homes with preventable diseases, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, the big three that are making people suffer that don't need to be. These are, with the right formula, the right mindset, the right intentions, these things can be dramatically, your chances of getting them can be dramatically reduced. And That's what I'm doing, what I do. Through seasonal detox, through learning to love ourselves, through just living the best lives that we can, so that when we come to the end of our lives, there's no suffering. And I do that because I need you guys to not suffer. That's the whole point of this. I've seen too much of it. I've seen too much. And you can only do so much. We've seen other people in our lives suffer. We've seen our perhaps loved ones suffer going through the end of their life. And it's hard. It really does impact you. And if you haven't seen it, well, you're blessed. But the thing is, it happens. It happens a lot. And it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. And that's why I do what I do. I'm sorry for getting so emotional, but that's what I do. That's I've gone from healthcare to holistic healthcare, because preventative medicine is where it's at. Integrative medicine is where it's at. Understanding that there's another way. We don't have to be as sick as we are. We don't have to go through all of this. We integrate the best things of conventional medicine with the old ways of understanding that food is so very impactful on our nutrition, that supplements are needed because sometimes our food is not good enough, and we have to make do and do the best that we can. Society is pushing us towards Big Macs and Diet Cokes, and this is killing us. And it's killing us slowly. It's a poison. And it doesn't have to be that way. You guys don't have to go through this. Reach out. If nothing, just for a hug, and or at least a virtual hug, and understand that there is simple ways. I say simple. I know it's not simple. We're human, but there is a simpler way. And with support and guidance from a professional like myself, or a professional like Dana, or all the amazing holistic practitioners that are at your fingertips, reach out and connect and do the best that you can for you, because that's what we're here for. Have a wonderful day. I do love you guys.